Good morning, it's day 135 and me and Roadrunner actually have a food drop today. So I will run into him at Crawford Pond where Shaw's is dropping off our next couple days worth of food. And I did not make it to the shelter last night. I decided to just stop on Whitecap. I was beat when I got up there. And it was getting kind of late. The sun was setting and I didn't feel like climbing down the mountain in the dark. And I had a feeling that the shelter was going to be full anyway. Then I'd have to set up my tent in the dark. So I just pitched my tent on some rocks and stabilized the corners with bigger rocks. And it wasn't bad when I was on my pad, but it's definitely rocky up there, but I had a great view of Katahdin. I wanted to spend some time up there too and just soak it in because it's the last big mountain before Katahdin and the first big good view of Katahdin. So I just camped right at the viewpoint and got down to the shelter this morning a little after 7. There were some guys there and I really had to use the privy. I've gotten used to waking up by privies. I'm on a schedule now, so I was like booking it down the mountain. And then those guys wanted to talk to me. They're like, "Oh, you looking for someone?" I'm like, "Oh, well, Jukebox and Roadrunner are in my group." And they're like, "Oh, Jukebox just left. She was wondering where you are." I don't think she saw Roadrunner either because he got there late. The shelter was probably full and Jukebox was probably asleep. So he tented somewhere around there. Then I was just like, does this place have a privy? Where's that? And then I ran away. But I'm making good time. Our food pickup, or our food drop is at 11 a.m. And I have about 4 miles to go and 2 hours to go. So got a little bit of uphill to do, which I'm on right now. Just 1,000 feet of incline. And then afterwards, so I have to do the 1.5 miles I didn't do last night today to catch back up. But the elevation change is so much less today. Yesterday I had to climb 6,500 feet, which I did do. Today is only 1,800 feet. So huge difference. Hopefully my feet feel a little better not having to do all that climbing. I kept waking up pretty sore last night. Sore and swollen. But we're in the last few days here and we're almost there. Got a couple flatter days ahead of us, so until we hit Katahdin, then it's a huge climb. But that'll be it for that day. It's just the climb up and the climb down. That is all I got for now, so I will talk to you guys later. Good morning, it's the early morning of day 136. We made our 24.5 miles yesterday, about a mile from our food drop. Jukebox and Roadrunner were there waiting on top of the little hill / mountain for me. So we hiked down there together. The Shaw's guy who did our food drop gave us our buckets, and when you set it up, they ask you what kind of drink you want. They'll bring you a cold soda or PBR, and he ended up giving Jukebox a Coke as well. He had an extra one, and he had extra 3 cans of sardines, which we ate right there, which actually weren't too bad. It's kind of better than some of the tuna packets I eat out here, but we all wanted the extra calories and we were all hungry. So from there we hiked the whole day together, and which helped push me to actually get to camp early. So I can't remember the last time I got to camp like super early other than a short day. But these flat sections I can really book it on. So I'm hoping for another early night tonight. We're supposed to have all day rain starting in the late morning. So, and we have to tent tonight. It's a tent site, not a shelter. So we're not looking forward to setting up in the rain. But we gotta do what we gotta do. And then tomorrow morning, we'll climb Rainbow Ledges, which you can have a really good view of Katahdin from there. And then we'll hike to the Able Bridge store, do our small resupply, and then to the Birches. Hopefully, if we get in the Birches, we might end up having to camp at Katahdin Stream Campground if they're full. So that's all I got for now. I'll talk to you guys later. So I ended up getting to camp at about 2:30, which is really fast. Today was just not too hard. There was just one big climb that was towards the beginning, and we wanted to try and get to camp as early as we can. We were worried about, there being enough tent space for multiple people. Another couple who's been pacing around us for a while, Shaggy and Ice Noodle, they were planning on coming here as well. So we all get here, and then for it being a 100-mile wilderness, there sure are a lot of people out here. There's tons of like Boy Scout groups, Girl Scout groups, and just other hikers in general, section hikers, southbounders. Like every shelter we go to is just packed full, as well as tenters. And this was a tent site, so me and Jukebox were the first ones here. Roadrunner showed up. We all get set up, and then another couple showed up looking for tenting, and then a giant group of Boy Scouts showed up, and then Shaggy and Ice Noodle showed up and got a spot, and then I just heard a ton of people just roll in. Can hear them talking, but the rain wasn't too bad today. We just had some light rain our whole time hiking. Then when we got to camp, it pretty much stopped. So filtered water, ate dinner, and then laid in my tent. That's when a bunch of people rolled in, and it started pouring. So they're out there in the heavy rain, not sure what's going on, but very noisy. 21.2 tomorrow. We'll hit the Able Bridge store, camp store, pretty early, probably around 9:30 or 10, and get some food and stuff for the night, and then for the next day for Katahdin. So signing off for the night. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Alright, it's our last big hiking day. 21.2 miles. We're gonna hit Able Bridge, the camp store, at around 10 after 11.4 miles. And then once we eat some food there, resupply for the next day and the night, we'll have just under 10 miles to the Birches. We'll have to go. There's a kiosk right after the bridge at Able Bridge to sign up for the Birches. And if they're full, the rangers should try to place you in Katahdin Stream Campground. And if they're full, you're kind of like stuck around Able Bridge. There's a couple campgrounds there, but that makes for a long summit day the next day. So fingers crossed that that does not happen. and we get into the birches. That is the game plan, and I hope it all works out. We will catch up with you guys later.
And everybody has a clean bacon. It looks like they have to teach them around.
So sad news, Birches and Katahdin Stream were full. There was a ranger at the camp store when Jukebox got there, so she talked to him, and then me and Roadrunner showed up shortly after. So we made a game plan. We got a campsite at Able Pines, which is right by Able Bridge, and we slack packed ourselves. So we set up camp and left as much stuff as we could in our tents and slack packed ourselves up the AT to Katahdin Stream campground. Went to the ranger station there and got checked in, and then once we did that, we're taking a Blue Blaze back down, which the AT is like 9.8 miles. This Blue Blaze is only like 4.5 miles. So we're going to take the same Blue Blaze back up in the morning and then summit Katahdin on the AT where we left off. So that's our plan. So we're about an hour away. We'll hit up the camp store, get some more supplies for the night, have some s'mores, have dinner, and sleep well for the morning. So I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.